Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Space for today, Monday, October 21st, 2019. I am your host, Dr. Pamela Gay, and I am here to put science in your brains. Um, Most Mondays through Fridays, either I or my co host Annie Wilson will be here to bring you a quick rundown of all that is new in space and astronomy. And this Monday, well, we have stuff to go through, but I've got to admit, it's kind of a light news day. So, our first story is actually one of observational astronomy. Um, I'm not going to lie, we are currently entering my favorite time of the year. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, our temperatures are dropping, the trees are putting on a color show, Halloween decorations are up, and Orion is greeting me during my final dog walk of the night. Well, tonight, Orion also has an extra surprise. It will be the point of origin for a myriad of shooting stars associated with the Orionid Meteor shower. With only 20 to 25 meteors per hour and with a third quarter moon rising alongside Orion, you may not see very much. But I still want you to know about this meteor shower because it is part of a larger and very pleasing set of cosmic events. One of the most consistently bright comets to pass through the inner solar system is Comet Halley. Archaeological records hint at it being observed as early as 467 BC, and its regular return has been noted by people of a myriad of nations in writings, art, historical tales told by bards. And in 1705, less than 20 years after Newton first put forward his laws of gravity, force, and motion, Edmund Halley calculated a possible orbit for what he believed to be a single recurring comet. Today, we know that object by the name Comet 1P Halley and recognize it for its 75.3-year period that managed to mark both the birth and death of Arthur Mark Twain. As a comet, Halley orbits our solar system and leaves behind a trail of ice, dust, and the occasional pebble as it goes. And it just happens that debris trail exactly crosses the orbit of the Earth. Every year, on about October 21st, our planet plows through the debris with the constellation Orion, marking the point on the sky that lines up with where our atmosphere impacts that debris cloud. That means those meteors you probably aren't seeing tonight, well, those are leftover bits of Comet Halley. So if you are out late tonight, or are up very early tomorrow morning, look up for Orion and look for bright streaks racing away in the night and know that you're seeing parts of the first comet to be understood. So, yeah, go outside, look up. Now, as I said, it's a bit of a slow news week. And our next story has nothing quite so grand. Rather, we have two quick mission updates. First off, the European Space Agency's solar orbiter is getting packed up and shipped out for its journey from Germany to Cape Canaveral for launch in February of next year. The mission is meant to be a complement to the Parker Solar Probe, which is going to be plunging through the sun's atmosphere. Rather than sampling the atmosphere directly, the solar probe is going to be staring at its surface. It will take this mission roughly 2 years to get into polar orbit, and from there, it's not only going to observe the sun's surface, but in addition to having imagers, this mission also carries instruments for measuring the composition of the solar wind. Particles carried to Earth in the solar wind are responsible for amazing aurora and the periodic death of spacecraft and power grids. As we become an increasingly more dependent society on both telecommunications satellites and, well, power, understanding space weather is becoming more and more important. Having this new spacecraft in an orbit that reveals the underobserved polar regions of the sun will hopefully improve our space weather forecasts. If you want to see the effects of space weather for yourself, this week might be a good week to, well, give it a try. A moderate geomagnetic storm is predicted for later this week. If you live above 45 degrees latitude, get out and on October 24th and 25th, look toward your hemisphere's respective pole. There is a chance that ghostly light will be visible along the horizon. It always amazes me how much ground-based travel these spacecraft experience before they make it into space. The Solar Probe will be traveling from Germany to Florida, and it contains instruments that were sent to Germany to be assembled from all over the world. Well, this is a lot of shipping to worry about. The main concerns to that particular spacecraft are that something will get damaged. With planet-destined spacecraft, all this transportation also poses a terrible risk of biological contamination. So this brings us to our next story, which is one of the Mars 2020 rover. This particular spacecraft was just moved from the spacecraft assembly facility to the simulator building at the Jet Propulsion Lab. And in that new location, it's going to undergo testing. To make this move, they wrapped the mission up tight and then had to wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol when it got to its new location. This mission is one no one will touch with skin, and every precaution is being taken to make sure that not even a fallen eyelash makes its way to Mars. Complete decontamination is believed to be impossible. But since this mission is going to be collecting rocks for eventual return to Earth, the hope is to get it clean enough that any left behind microbes will be too few to contaminate those rocks. Currently, the Mars 2020 rover is scheduled to launch from Florida in July 2020. This does mean they're going to have to move it from California all the way out to Florida. Once it is on its way, it will then reach Mars in February 2021, making the 2020 rover more of a 2021 rover. It is hoped that it will be joined on Mars by the separately built European Space Agency Rosalind Franklin rover. But the parachutes needed for that mission's landing have so far, they're proving more difficult to manufacture than predicted, and that may put the mission's on-time launch in jeopardy. The shapes and resonances of Mars and Earth's orbit provide ideal launch windows about every 26 months. So the next launch window will be either side of New Year's in 2023. So here's to hoping that Rosalind is able to launch on time. And that's all we've got for today. And I want to say thank you to Kevlar for the bits, because Eddie came right on over and is like, give me treats. For those of you who are new, we provide tasty goodness to the pets in the vicinity when, we get bits on the show. Here you go. I know, it's the wrong side. I'm still failing to train him to come around to the other side. Come on over here. Here, you need to come around. Here, follow the bits. Follow the bits. He's like, no, I will not follow the bits. Underneath, come on. Come on. Nope, it's not going to happen today. And that's okay. Here you go. Hi. Hi. You're going to move my desk, aren't you? Because that's what you do. Okay, so that was all the news we've got today, but I'm going to hang out and I'm going to answer your questions. And while you're typing them in, I'm going to remind you to please put that purple circle with a purple star in the center. That will help me find your questions in the chat. I'm also going to remind you while you're typing them in that the Daily Space comes to you most Mondays through Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific. That is 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. London time. There's going to be some chaos coming up in the future when some of us are in daylight savings time and some of us are not. But we always, no matter what, will be going out at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we are produced by Susie Murph and are a production of the Planetary Science Institute. We are a 501c3 dedicated to exploration of our solar system and beyond. This also means that your bits, your subs, your donations are tax deductible where the law allows. So thank you for making everything we do possible. We would not be here without you. And one of the best ways that you can help us is actually over on patreon.com. Patreon.com/CosmoQuestX. We are able to get you notes, give you announcements, share more information with you. And it's just a great way to help out. So I am now going to scroll through. The dog is going to move the camera. Sorry about that. I am going to scroll through and answer the questions in the chat. It's just going to take me a minute to change the settings. There we go. Okay. Using the correct mouse for the correct computer also helps. Larry has this big first next to his name. I have no clue what that's from, but I like the first. Founder, 16-month subscriber. That's amazing. Okay, so that's what that means. Annie has been setting things up. Guido commented at the beginning, wow, Eddie looks tired. Yeah, last night Stella didn't want to let any of us sleep. I don't know what was wrong with Stella other than she really hates thunderstorms, and we had thunderstorms. So we're all a little tired today due to Stella, who will not come down the basement stairs, which is why you never see her down here. Scrolling for questions. Scrolling for questions. So Broken Symmetry asks, have you made any comet paintings or jewelry? I haven't made any comet jewelry. I have done comet paintings. I haven't posted any of them up on Etsy. These are things I need to work on more. There's Mars 2020 hype going on in chat. Thank you, Kevlar, once again for the bits. Thank you. Yeah, Eddie is totally about where are the treats, not which side is the better camera angle. It's true. It's true. He's still a good boy. He is. And I need to figure out how to get Malachi down here. Tom has interjected with a random cat emoji. So Crispy Fried Man asks, favorite one-to-one spacecraft display? My favorite one-to-one spacecraft display. So for sheer drama, I have to say the space shuttle that's on display at Kennedy. I've seen it reduce people to tears left and right. So if you want to be reduced to tears, go there. If you simply want to hang out with a bunch of spacecraft and have a good time, the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama is one of my favorites. They do have an Apollo 5, as well as an amazing rocket park, and it is home to Space Camp. So Henny asks, what can we tell about stars other than the sun with our in-depth solar observations? Well, we assume that the physics of all stars is basically the same and that any variations that we see are due to actual variations from one star to another. So we know, for instance, that more massive stars, when they're burning hydrogen in their core, are burning hotter and they're larger. So they also like physically have more square footage to give off the light. So they're giving off more light in a bluer temperature than smaller stars that don't burn as hot and also have a smaller surface area. Variations that we see in general are actually most useful for confirming our theories. So it had long been predicted that the surface of the sun should show slight oscillations. And these were finally detected in the 90s through the Gong project, which looked at the sun 24 hours a day from a series of Earth-based observatories that were scattered around the rotating globe. Nowadays, instead of observing things from the surface of the planet, we just stick spacecraft out there. So we have the Solar Dynamic Orbiter, which is doing its study set of observations for us. We look at the sun also because we need to understand weather that will impact our own world. When the sun blasts a stream of electrons our way, this literally has an impact on things and can, if you don't put your spacecraft and your power grids into safe modes, can eat and destroy things. So we study our sun to confirm our theories, to look for holes in our theories, and to keep ourselves a little bit safer. Arnstro is saying that's a new thing Twitch is doing, referring to Larry's badge. Binary Blaze, you're so good at figuring out this stuff. I'm perfectly willing to blame all good, nice things on you. First 10 subs for affiliate and 20 for partner get the first. That's awesome. Guido is like, Stella would definitely try to knock over the camera. Yes, she would. More to the point, she would also just be here licking me the entire time. She is the lickiest dog I've ever had. Comets are harder to paint than they might first appear. This is true, but they are also easier to paint than many other things. Sunsets and comets are some of the earliest things I figured out how to paint, probably because I got to see Halley's comet. What the heck? Something just occurred that generated a good deal of noise what was that? Okay, scrolling down to figure it out. It was a donation. Thank you so much for the donation. I did not know it was going to make that noise. That noise was one heck of a noise. Space ghosts. Quick, someone clip that. Okay, let me, I'm logged in as me, so I won't contaminate the chat. So I can't see who and what it was. I'm going to go look on the other computer so I know who to thank. Hold on. I'm going to simply be sad for a moment because Twitch redid their dashboard and Streamlabs is being oblique. So I don't know who to thank. Whoever it was, thank you. You're fabulous. I'm going to give my dog a treat. I'm going to make my dog come around to the other side. Eddie. Okay, you're not going to come around to the other side, are you? You're just going to move the desk. Here. Thank you. Everyone is clipping it. You guys are awesome. Can you get down now? Come on, get down. I know. So furry. Okay, let's see if I can figure out who it was. Someone pledged on Patreon. That's what it was. Okay. I can go figure that out later. I am so grateful. Thank you. More of you need to scare the bejesus out of me. I think that's the first time I've heard that noise. I want to hear it more, please. Okay, I'm done whining. Quick, everybody hide. You're still there. Um, SpaceX's Mischief fairing boat is out of port on drills. That's cool. Hello, Falco Online. Thank you for being here while you were here. It's all good. Yes, thank you for the scares this Halloween season. It is true. This is the time of year you're supposed to scare me. There will be costumes on Halloween. I would also like to say there may, in fact, be costumes the entire week of Halloween. I have yet to figure this out. Um, I'm trying to figure out what I can do with this information. Um, So Janderloon says, Econ Greg, he does star watching nearly every night, so he might be up for showing a meteor shower for those who can't see it unless clouds prevent him too. Next streamer up would be Damien Explorers, maybe Doss would too. So here we are completely clouded out, or I would try and show you. As I said, we had thunderstorms all last night. It is still wet and gross outside. Fall in the Midwest. Binary Ablaze does not promise a costume. That is okay. I have enough costumes to compensate for both of us. Hey, Joey. So that's all I've got for today. Now, I did this episode with a brand new teleprompter that my husband built for me, and it actually seems to work. So yay for that. I may in the future be able to record our podcast simultaneously with recording this episode, and hopefully things will look a lot better for the folks over on YouTube. So if you liked the teleprompter, let me know. And go team, go team. So for today, though, I was not recording on any device. So I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to record the podcast edition. And as always, help us out by spreading the word. Let other people know that we have this Twitch channel. Let other people know that we put out daily YouTube episodes, and we'd love your subscription. Let other people know that if they'd rather listen to a podcast, we've got that too. We just want to get more science into more brains, and this is our goal. And we need your help to do it. We are not getting advertising sponsors right now. We're getting sponsored by you. And we are so grateful for every bit, sub, and slightly scary Patreon alert that you guys trigger. So thank you for allowing us to do that, and just help other people know that we're here. Spread the word. Let's make society a little bit more scientific. So, no wars needed for research and development. I'm not going to try and figure out what you're referring to there. That's slightly terrifying. But instead, what I'm going to say is our standard wall of text. We are the Daily Space. We are produced by Susie Murph and a production of the Planetary Science Institute. We are here thanks to the glorious and awesome and sometimes scary donations, bits, subs, and patronage of people like you. This week, you can go out and you can see the Orionids tonight. After midnight or early in the morning will work quite nicely, but you'll be competing to see them against a moon. So it may not be the best view, but no, the Earth is currently plowing through residual bits left over by the Comet Halley, and that's kind of cool. Later this week on October 24th and 25th, there just might be aurora. So start planning to go out and give it a look a little bit later this week. And that's all we've got. So thank you all for being here. I will be back tomorrow, and wherever you are in the world. Have a fabulous morning, evening, or afternoon. Bye-bye.